All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. It's a great presentation on starting and establishing a youth band for LGBTQ and allies. So with that, I think we're just going to go ahead and jump in.
My name is Adam DeRosa, the proud president of the South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble.
And I am Dan Bassett, the artistic director of the South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble. We will spend the next half hour offering a snapshot into the South Florida Youth Pride Band program.
We will discuss its mission, how and why it was created, its history, and details on its operation. It is our hope that other bands will take this opportunity to learn about the South Florida Pride Youth Band and be inspired to start a similar program in your own city. We also want to give a shout out to the Rose City Pride Band, who has sponsored an annual Young Artist Solo competition for a few years now. The Youth Pride Band is a youth outreach program, which many of our band members consider to be our most important endeavor. It is our high school honor band, which targets LGBT youth and their allies to promote a message of anti-bullying in our schools.
The Youth Pride Band program was born at a board meeting in 2011. We were brainstorming how to expand our existing program for a new grant, which we decided to apply for. At the time, we had quite a bit of interest from high school students to join our band. However, our bylaws state that members must be 18 years old to join. Additionally, the national It Gets Better movement was in full swing. Thus, a formal outreach program for youth began. Grant funding was secured in June 2011, and the program applications launched in August of 2011.
In the past 9 years, the program has grown exponentially. In 2012, which was our inaugural season, we had 25 student musicians. In 2013, we doubled in size to 50 plus students. Since 2014, between 80 and 90 students have participated annually. Due to budget and logistical constraints, 90 plus participants has become our cap. The first year's clinician was David Schaefer, Neil Jenkins and Brian Worsdale, guest conducted in 2013, followed by Robert Sheldon, Frank Tikelli, Johan DeMay, Jadine Louie, Robert Longfield, Robert Sheldon again, and in 2012, Michael Markowski and Brian Worsdale joined us. As we approach our 10th year, over 500 high school students have participated in this program. Many students begin their journey with us as a freshman and continue until they age out at graduation. A happy side effect of running the program is that when students graduate high school or turn 18, several have opted to join the South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble. Many of those go on to take things full circle and become coaches for the Youth Pride Band.
Hi, I'm Julia Bravo, and I'm an alumni of the Youth Pride Band of South Florida. I joined the Youth Pride Band in 2011, and it was a great way for me and my friends to make music together, but also to support a cause that we cared about, which was anti-bullying. My time with the youth band was very positive, and I learned so much that I still carry with me even today. And everybody, from the students, the coaches, the conductors, the volunteers, all helped make the environment very fun and very positive and very supportive. And that's something that felt so unique. And as a student, I felt comfortable asking questions and making mistakes because I knew that there was always going to be that support there for me. I remember actually my very first trumpet solo was with the Youth Pride Band, and I must have been obviously very nervous, but the coach next to me turned to me and she gave me some words of encouragement. And, that is something that I had never experienced before because I had never been in the side-by-side, but it was such a small thing for her to do, and it felt like such a pivotal moment in my playing as far as my confidence goes, and the opportunity to have that instant support from a coach was really, really awesome. Another really cool thing that the Pride Band does is they raise money for a number of $1,000 scholarships every year, and I was lucky enough to have been a recipient of one of those scholarships. I obviously use the scholarship on textbooks and school fees and school tuition, but something that the scholarship gave me that will last longer than the pure financials of it is the knowledge that somebody gave me that scholarship because they believed in me and because they wanted me to succeed. And that's something that, while the $1,000 is very helpful to a lot of the students who receive it, that knowledge that somebody cared about them like that is another thing that can help motivate students after they've left the Pride Band. And that's something I'm very grateful for as well. Another opportunity that I got to experience because of the Youth Pride Band is Frenchwood's Festival of the Performing Arts. This camp in upstate New York is so unique and so special, and it has a million activities for their campers, and as Youth Pride Band students we were able to attend on partial scholarship. But as a music camper, the lessons and the side-by-side coachings and the guest appearances were so huge for my growth in music. After attending as a camper, I took a summer off and I have been working as a staff member there since 2016. This transition was the same as my transition into the Pride Wind Ensemble in 2015 in the way that I was suddenly switching spots and I was carrying a different kind of responsibility. And this experience of becoming a role model to students whose shoes I had been in and to see other students the way I had been seen really helped me open my eyes to how, can we help our younger musicians grow and what kind of environments can we create where they'll thrive. But overall, the Youth Pride Band and Frenchwoods and the Pride Wind Ensemble have helped me learn what it means to be a good musician, teacher, and person. Thank you.
We knew when we started the youth band that we would face challenges such as how to promote the group to high school students. How do we let them know it exists? We would need to make the group a worthwhile endeavor for them, so we decided that well-known composers and conductors or clinicians should be a part of each year's program. Additionally, we wanted to give back to our community and the students, so we added a college scholarship component. Finally, we did not want to sway from our mission and the mission of LGBA, so it was decided that in addition to creating great music with great clinicians, we would focus on anti-bullying and LGBT issues. We will discuss all of these issues and how we face them as we continue the webinar. The program is open to all high school students in Broward, Palm Beach, and Miami-Dade counties. Within the first couple of years, we were contacted by a parent from Hendry County, a small rural county of about 40,000, located east of Palm Beach County. There were a group of students and very willing parents who were willing to make the 2-hour drive to be part of the program. These kids were in a county where opportunities like this just didn't exist, so of course we accepted them. Each year, applications are sent out in August, and students may apply until December. Students are selected based on their application, which includes some very important information. In addition to their contact information, students must provide the number of years they've played their instruments, which ensembles they play in their high school band programs, and other honor bands or community bands they have participated in. The most important, however, is if they have participated in all-county band, all-state band, or county and state solo and ensemble festivals. We also ask what grade level solo they performed and what their rating was. This is very important in order to not only select membership, but also to seat them. We do not have a formal audition process, so the information on their application is of the utmost importance. Music is then selected and sent out electronically at the end of December. Rehearsals for youth band are different than the typical one-weekend honor band formula. The youth band rehearses over the course of 4 weekends. We found that Sunday afternoons from 2 to 6 o'clock had the least amount of conflicts. These rehearsals are conducted by me. Each section has at least one member of the South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble who acts as a coach for the section. They also help determine solos and run sectionals. So we rehearse 3 weekends for 4 hours. Then the weekend of the concert, a guest clinician arrives. We held a Friday evening run-through of all music from 7 to 10 o'clock, an all-day Saturday rehearsal from 10 to 5 o'clock, and then the sound check and run-through on stage on Sunday starting at 2:30 with a 7 p.m. concert. Since we have an entire month of rehearsals with these students, we can tackle an entire concert program. The coaches typically do not play with the students on the concert unless absolutely necessary. However, since all the members of the South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble want to participate in the concert, we add them in on the second half of the program. So we end up with students for half the concert and a mass band of adults and students, which is typically about 120 musicians for the second half.
The program has been promoted through the Florida Music Educator magazine, the coordinator of music/arts within the school districts, and the Florida Bandmasters Association. Representatives from our band attend each year's first Florida Bandmasters Association meeting with permission of the county FBA chairperson. By speaking directly to the band directors and explaining our program to them, we create a mutually beneficial partnership. Their students participate in a great musical experience, and we gain more interested and talented students applying for the program. Band directors with students in the youth band also receive complimentary tickets to the performance. Each student also receives 2 complimentary tickets. Between family, friends, and our usual audience, we normally sell out the 600-seat auditorium. Further promotion has been through the purchase of ad spaces in local marching band competition programs. If you're starting a youth band program, I would also recommend contacting local media. The local LGBT newspapers and magazines have been very open to running stories and ads about the youth band each year. We were also able to secure a spot on our local NPR station the very first year of the program, in addition to mainstream newspaper articles.
So Corey, where do you go to school?
The rehearsal room at St. Mark's Episcopal School in Oakland Park is new to most of the teenagers here. But they all get right to work, setting up their chairs and tuning up their instruments. Christina Dunbar wears a black t-shirt and blue jeans ripped at the knees.
I play flute.
Christina is 18 years old and bisexual. She's president of the Gay Straight Alliance at her high school. That keeps her pretty busy. It also makes her a target.
I have been bullied almost my whole entire life.
Last year, she helped organize a day of silence in support of victims of anti-gay bullying. Some kids in her school just couldn't keep quiet.
They said those faggots deserve to die, or they said, oh, you're a fag, or you're a dyke, or this and that.
They say they're sick of all the name-calling. And in the mere act of sitting together and playing music, these teens are taking a stand against it. I'm Christine DiMattei in Oakland Park.
The most powerful marketing tool has been word of mouth. Once one student from an area high school participates, we see a marked increase in attendance from that school the next year. There is a scholarship opportunity attached to this program. At first, we intended to award 4 $1,000 scholarships each year. Due to overwhelming support of during our first year, we actually awarded 5 in 2012. In 2020, we awarded 20 scholarships, bringing our grand total to $124,000 in scholarships in 9 years. The funds for these scholarships come from grants, local organizations, and private donors. For the past few years, several of our members have leveraged the fundraising feature in Facebook to raise funds for scholarships. Personally, I have done this the past few years on my birthday. When people find out about our mission and the young people that it affects, they are more willing to give towards a scholarship than any other program. In other words, once people know what we're doing, it's an easy sell.
Some of the biggest challenges we have faced with the program were not what we expected. We were worried that 9 years ago, band directors wouldn't be open to the idea. While some more conservative directors definitely expressed their negative opinions, most were very open to having their students perform with a group outside of their band. What has been a challenge is more logistics. Scheduling a time when we are not competing with marching band season, other honor bands, solo and ensemble festival, concert band assessments, and students auditioning for colleges has proven almost impossible. So we're flexible. While ideally we want every student at every rehearsal, this simply isn't possible. We do require prior notification to missing a rehearsal and encourage them to attend much of the rehearsal as they can. The other challenge is space. While we are lucky to be able to use my school's gymnasium to rehearse, getting 100 plus members of the combined band to fit on the Broward Center stage is challenging. In addition to rehearsing the band for the first 3 weeks of rehearsals, I secure the section coaches and have a long discussion with them about the do's and don'ts while around the students. Along with the guest clinician, I help determine the concert theme and music selection. Whenever possible, we try to perform as many of their compositions as possible. I will normally conduct 1 to 2 pieces on the concert, and my assistant director, Sarah Cowley, will conduct a piece as well. One of the really important things that we set time aside for in rehearsals is to discuss bullying in schools and LGBT issues with the students. We have had guest speakers come in to discuss all types of topics such as coming out and gender identity. I find it amazing how much the students actually participate and want to tell us how they've struggled and overcome. We literally could spend hours talking to the students, but we do need to rehearse the music. Another bonus of the program, which I love, is the bonds that are created between coaches and students. They have a month of rehearsals with them, so they become very attached. Many come back year after year and are very excited to reunite with their coaches. This is also why we put strict guidelines on etiquette when dealing with the students. Coaches understand that they must be friendly, but not friends, and definitely should not trade phone numbers or add each other on social media. All emails from coaches come from a designated email address owned by the Pride Wind Ensemble. After the second year, we formed a partnership with French Woods Festival for the Performing Arts. The owner of the camp attended a concert as a guest of Brian Warsdale, who is also the director of music at French Woods. After the concert, the owner was so moved that he wanted to do something more for the kids involved. Every year, youth band participants qualify for a scholarship to attend the first session of camp at French Woods for a very, very discounted rate. Lucky for me, this is also the session where I am the concert band and jazz band director, so I get to see more of the amazing Youth Pride Band students during the summer.
I served as the program coordinator from 2011 to 2017. From the onset, we were very careful with our treatment of parents. All of our materials are very clear in stating what this program is all about and what organization is coordinating it. Surprisingly, parents have become our strongest advocates, even organizing a potluck lunch for all of the musicians during the concert weekend. We aim to provide a high-quality program which includes t-shirts, food, and a concert at the Broward Center for the Performing Arts, which is a first for most of these students. What has been the student feedback? Well, they keep coming back and they bring their friends. The program has had overwhelmingly positive feedback from the students. The primary reason is the atmosphere of acceptance and belonging that the students feel. The next is the ability to play with renowned clinicians and to play with the South Florida Pride Wind Ensemble. Currently, we have several former youth band members in our adult ensemble, so this program has also become a recruitment pipeline for our wind ensemble. Here are some comments from our most recent student survey. I am super motivated in playing the pieces given to us and the atmospheric happiness when I walk through the doors to practice. Pride Band was the most fun I've had in something band related in a very long time. I can't wait to come back. I enjoy participating in this ensemble and will try to bring as many band friends as possible in order to share the fun and enlightening times I have here.
Applications for the 2021 program will be available August, and if we're lucky, we will be able to have our youth band again this year. For our 10th season, I will be the guest clinician. We will be playing one song from each of the 9 previous years' performances. We will also premiere a new work by Robert Sheldon, who has been commissioned to compose a piece for our 10th season anniversary, thanks to a generous grant from the John Sims Endowment Fund. We are very excited to announce that Julie Garou will serve as the clinician for our 2022 program. You can also find out more information about this program on our band's website and the Youth Band Facebook page. We'll also be happy to email forms, releases, and application questions to any band who thinks they may want to start a youth pride band of their own. Thank you so much for watching this presentation and for participating in the first ever LGBTQ virtual conference.
All right. That was wonderful. I'm looking, and we did have a couple of questions, and Adam was good enough to answer.
Yeah, let's wait for Dan to get on,
Hey,
and we can circle back to those. I did want to give immediate context since we were
perfect.
able to, but go ahead, Nanette. Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being here. First question that I see, it says, I am in a youth poetry organization where we recently discovered our recordings of student performances count as educational records. Have you run into issues with FERPA or have any advice on further privacy issues?
Yeah. The FERPA guidelines do not carry over to us because we're not affiliated with an educational institution. Plus, these students are high school students. But it's a good question. What we do is we have release forms that the students and parents must sign prior to the first rehearsal. One is a medical release form with insurance information, of course, in case something happens to the student, need medical assistance. But we also have a photo release form for the students to sign. And so if they do not sign that, we make a note, and those students are not included in any published materials like film, like pictures or film or video. That has happened very rarely, but when it's done, we've been very respectful of that and have been able to carry on that.
Great. And following that, it says, do you have a minimum age or grade for the youth band?
Yeah, this band is only open to high school students, so they have to be in 9th, 10th, or 11th, 9th, 10th, 11th, or 12th grade. And part of the application is indicating what year they are in high school.
So not so much age as it is actual grade level.
It is.
Okay, cool. All right. And I did have a question also. I was curious what's your solution for a candidate that wants to participate, but they might not, quite be there in terms of their abilities? What do you tell them at that point? Without discouraging, I guess.
I'll defer to Dan for that one.
Because they're not quite, what do you mean as far as?
In terms of well, apparently from listening to the group and the music that they're doing, the talent level is pretty high.
It is. There is a selection process because we can only fit a number of students on stage at one time. So we look, like I said in the presentation, it's very important to get the most information from their survey when they apply, as far as have they done solo and ensemble, what grade level, what rating did they receive, did they go to state, you can tell right away who the top players are. And of course, we want to give the opportunity to as many people as possible, but there's only a certain amount of seats on stage. So it is a combination of making sure that each school has a representation. If they applied, someone from any school, we make sure we have at least one representative, but also, the ability level is an issue, as any honor band would have if they had a regular audition.
Also instrumentation, right, Dan?
And
If you have,
instrumentation, you can't have 60 tubas and 2 flutes. It doesn't, doesn't work.
so Nanette, I see the question from Mia with regard to distinguishing from other youth bands. I think that would be a regional question for us. There are some youth opportunities outside of high school for them to participate in. Some are year-round, some are like honor band experiences over a
Okay.
timestamp. So we really treat this as the youth band is in existence for that year for like a 4-week period. And so they're with us those 4 weeks from the first rehearsal to the concert, and then we're going on to the next year. So it's not a continuous program like others. And for us, we're very clear in our marketing material about who we are as an organization, as a community band sponsoring this. And also, that now we're at a point where a lot of students know about us. A lot of the band directors are promoting our program. So we're oftentimes having to, like Dan said, we kind of can't accept everybody. So we've used some of the things that Dan talked about to be able to manage that. I also see a question about cost. We thought cost might be a question, so we want to just let everyone know we're going to be sharing a Dropbox link with a whole bunch of materials, including our most recent P&L. We do treat it as an organization as our third concert of a 3-concert season, and we do use our Performing Arts Center, which is where our other concerts are. So certainly it is supported by ticket sales and grants and fundraising. So there is a little bit of money that comes in from the students. We do charge an application fee or registration fee to cover some of the costs associated for the students. But yeah, we do absolutely treat it like, the third. It's part of our concert season nowadays. So
right. So just to walk into our venue is about $5,000 for a nonprofit organization, just to basically turn the lights on, and you're on stage. Total cost of a season is about $20,000, but we do have some generous grants from local and state grants that we are able to offset that cost. We know that going into this, it is going to be a loss to the organization, but it's the importance of the youth band is so much that we're able to take that loss because we can make it up through our other concerts in the season. And as far as distinguishing between other youth bands in the community, there, a lot of as in many states, a lot of colleges have honor bands as part of their process to get students to come in and see the college. UM has one, of course. FSU has one. There's a tri-state one up in Gainesville area. So we understand that some students will be participating in our band and other bands, and ours is much longer commitment. So we make we allow students to miss a rehearsal if they need to, if they're attending another honor band event, or if there's something with their local band that have a performance. We're fairly lenient, except for of course the concert weekend when the guest clinician is coming in, which we think is very important for their for the overall experience.
Cool. All right. Well, I just wanted to give it a few seconds here to see if any new questions came in, either on the open chat or the QA. And I mean, absent of that, did you all want to say anything in closing?
Well, one of the things I can see from the chat is we have a lot of great folks from our own organization. And though Dan and I are honored to be tapped to present this today, it truly takes the entire organization, our board, our coaches, our supporters. And so we hope that we've highlighted some of that, that this is truly a worthwhile endeavor, but it is absolutely a commitment from all levels of our organization, both administratively and artistically. We wouldn't be able to do it without everybody's help. So it's nice to see our fellow musicians posting in the chat
I
to
totally
say,
agree with you, Adam. Between each individual section having a coach, or sometimes 3 to 4 coaches, because some people are so eager to help, to people helping behind the scenes, registering students, or providing food and snacks and helping. It's a wonderful experience for everyone in the band, and we're very appreciative of everyone who participates in it.
That's great.
one of the folks in the chat, Brian French, serves as our grant writer, and he will tell you that this particular outreach, youth outreach and senior outreach, are 2 key components in a lot of our grant applications. So the idea that we have both of those in formal ways in our kind of what we provide makes it very compelling, and why we have been so successful in acquiring grant funds. So just something to think about is the LGBT part is important. But remember, you're sometimes culturally, you're competing against the other LGBT cultural organizations, the choruses and whatnot. So having a senior outreach or a youth outreach or both really strengthens your chances of some of these highly competitive grants.
Absolutely. And we've actually partnered with some of our other LGBT arts organizations. Particular, the Gay Men's Chorus started a similar issue where they would have, or program where they would have a guest conductor conduct a piece on one of their concerts. And they came to us. It's like, we would love to figure out how can we get a person who is interested in the arts and a youth to come and conduct one of our concerts. So we helped them out. And actually, one of our members who was a youth band member who became a member of the Pride Wind Ensemble actually conduct on one of their concerts. So it's a collaboration, but yeah, it takes an entire village and community to make this happen. And it's a little easier, to be quite honest, to get money when you're talking about kids. People will give money when they're like, oh, it's for the kids. Oh, it's for LGBT and their allies' kids. Well, you think it might be a difficult issue. So if there are people within LGBA looking to start this, trust me, it may start slow, maybe that first year, but we were astonished that we had 25 kids that first year, and it bloomed the second year. And the scholarships have gotten to the point where we're $15,000 to $20,000 a year giving out to these kids. And we're honestly, I would love to say we're working really hard to get those scholarships, but it really isn't that difficult. You put out something out on your birthday on Facebook, and it's fairly easy to raise $1,000 for a scholarship because it's about the kids.
All right. Well, this has been, really, inspirational. And thank you. For the work that you're doing and that you continue to do, and just being a font of knowledge today. So, I guess we got about a minute left, and
Yeah,
Blake had a question there in the chat. Our dress rehearsal concerts. Oh, I think he's talking about our concerts at the adult facilities.
Yeah, we outside of the youth band, I know we have short on time. Our senior outreach has been partnering with one of the Century Villages that we have several in South Florida, but there's one in particular with a gorgeous venue who has had us come out there, and we treat it as a dress rehearsal, like the rehearsal prior to our holiday concert, for instance, in 2019, and they offer tickets. And we have more attendance at those concerts than our own concerts. This past year, I think there were like 800 seniors who came out for our holiday concert for them. So your senior outreach can also be a partnership that has very, very little financial commitment on us. I think all we pay for is an equipment truck to go back and forth. And we were able to do a dress rehearsal for 800 seniors. With holiday music. So don't feel like the outreach has to be substantially a lot of money. It can be very strategic.
And I don't know if we have time to squeeze this in, but it looks like Mark had a comment regarding himself and a couple of other band directors in the Valley that want to try to get this started out, but they're troubled by the fact that their Pride band here already gives scholarships to high school kids. And how can they work it into both?
I think their setup is a little different than ours. We require our students, or our participants rather, to be 18-year-olds to be part of the adult band. So there are many, many students who are juniors and seniors who are not quite 18 yet. So we would give scholarships to them. I'm not sure how you could start with the youth. You could absolutely do a youth band. It doesn't have to have a scholarship component, but you might actually attract more members of your adult band if you had a scholarship component with a youth band that was seasonal or a few weeks.
And Mark, feel free to set up a time outside of us. We've actually had separate meetings with other folks from around LGBA about some of the things we talked about, and we'd certainly be happy to sit down with you and kind of check it out and give you some more specific feedback to your situation.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks all. We're going to hop up.
Yeah, I want to thank you so much for being our moderator.
Oh, I
Yes,
cannot
thank you,
have
Nanette.
You're always welcome to be part of our band anytime you want to come down to South Florida and play trombone with us.
Yes, this is my introduction to the LGBA, so always in my heart, first in my heart. So, but thank you, gentlemen.
Oh,
thank you all.
Success.
Shout out. This coming year, we'll see if it happens with COVID, and I'm the guest conductor. Next season, we have Julie Guru, which will be fantastic. If LGBA out there, you know, she conducted on the last conference, and she's fantastic. So we're very excited to have her in 2021.
All right, and now we can all head over to Ignite, 4:30. See you all there.
Sounds good. Thank
Thank
you
you
all.
all so much.
Thank you.
All right.